trip since finding out that I have a small alien growing in my belly. Plenty to talk about. This is our first vlog of 2018 as well. But first of all, something very important I need to do, someone very important I need to see. Thank you so much. You're my favourite person in New Zealand. Thank you.
See you later.
Road trip. So I've made it to Taupo, although I should stop myself straight away. It's actually pronounced Taupo. Toe is in our own toes, paw as in four-legged friends' paws. Originally my whole plan A, was to do some beautiful filming with the drone throughout the New Zealand countryside as I made my way to Taupo. But unfortunately on my way here it was raining the entire time, which meant I couldn't use any of the ideas that I originally had. So then I came up with plan B, which, fair to say, I'm pretty sure you'd all be hitting stop right now if I had have played that bit. Just check out this tiny 2-3 second clip and you can understand why. So here we are with plan C. I'm sitting in my hotel room after driving from my friend's place in New Plymouth, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight why Ironman New Zealand is pretty special to me and why I was pretty stoked to be able to come back this year. I originally came here in 2009 when I was writing for Triathlon and Multisport magazine. I had never covered a triathlon. You know, I was still pretty green in terms of knowing who people were within the industry. I met Delly Carr and Noel McMahon at Auckland Airport and shared a car with them. Two people who know a lot about the sport, have been in the industry for a very, very long time, and so I just picked their brain the entire time. So by the end of that drive, they called me Rookie because I was a triathlon frother. So that nickname's kind of stuck. You'll probably see me trying to catch my breath quite a bit. For those of you who don't know, I am 16 weeks pregnant at the moment, and it's pretty weird. I don't actually feel pregnant, I just feel fat and unfit, and spending time talking takes my breath away. So if you'll excuse the big breaths while I battle it out with this oxygen thief in my stomach at the moment. So the first thing we did when we arrived in Taupo back in 2009 was we went to a Legends dinner. It was a networking kind of thing. And the first two people I saw when I walked through the door was none other than Paula Newby-Fraser and Greg Welch. Two kind of big deals within the sport. I had no idea what to do. Thankfully, Delly, being the lovely man that he is, went up to them and asked if I could get a photo with them. You know, being the triathlon frother that I was. Check it out. During that race week as well, I also met a very lovely lady called Sheridan who worked for Oakley, and we became mates over the weekend and chatted about a few things and what I had planned with my articles for the magazine, including the Ironman diaries leading up to my first Ironman at Busselton that year. And she ended up introducing me to the guys at Giant, and so I've been with the Giant family, now sort of Giant and Liv family, for 9 years now. So then on top of that, I guess, although I didn't really know it at the time, that's maybe where the seed was planted about Witsup. It's when I realised that I really enjoyed going to races and talking to athletes and interviewing them and all that. So I guess I could look back at Ironman New Zealand in 2009 as being a bit of a life and a career changer, although at the time I didn't really know. Witsup wasn't even, you know, a seed in my head back then. I didn't know that there was less exposure for women in triathlon, and then that would piss me off, and then I would eventually try to make a change. But I definitely look back at 2009 here in Taupo and have some pretty fond memories, and I guess I learnt a lot that weekend, and then I guess here we are now. So now it's time to take a look at some of the other little side events that are part of race week here and give you a bit of an idea of what else we get up to in the lead up to race day. So first up, we're going to check out the Hoka on a run, and then the Women for Tri breakfast, which I was emceeing. She did win it as a professional, but this weekend she is back to race as an age grouper. Please put your hands together for Sam Warner. Second of all on the panel, this lady's been in the sport for quite some time. I'm going to embarrass her a little bit. When she raced in Kona for the first time and pretty much put Ironman on the map, I was 1 year old. I was napping. We're going to talk a lot more about this lovely lady. She is racing on Saturday, and her son is racing 70.3 as well, so it's a family affair. Please welcome Julie Moss. Now, third on the roster this morning, she doesn't like mentioning it too much because she finished second here last year. She's got quite a few seconds to her name. It might be the last time we mention the word second. It may come up again, sorry, Sid. Please put your hands together for one of my good friends, Laura Sid Siddle. And last but certainly not least, we have the reigning champion from last year with an outstanding performance. Can you please put your hands together for Jocelyn McCauley? So in between all of that, there was coffee consumed, not too much though, 1 coffee a day at the moment for me. And then we went athlete spotting to try and get some video footage and some photos. So that small amount of footage that we just used then of Laura and Jocelyn on the bike, you know, there was only 10 or 15 seconds on this actual video, but to actually gather that footage and then, you know, also include photography as well, it takes a fair amount of time. You know, I have to organise meeting up with the women, waiting while they get ready, heading out to the bike course, bunny hopping them if I don't have a driver, editing footage, editing the photos. There's quite a large amount of work involved in getting the smallest amount of footage. So the reason I'm bringing this up is I'm not sure if you follow Glenn Murray, who is Corrupt Vision and This Is Triathlon on Instagram. But recently he posted on his Instagram stories that there have been a few Instagram accounts who are basically ripping off his photos without credit, without permission, and using it to build their Instagram following. It's actually got to a point where some of these Instagram platforms are now getting sponsors. So they're now essentially getting paid for photos that they've ripped from someone else, which is absolute bullshit, excuse my language, but it is. A lot of people might incorrectly think that that photo is just one snap in time, you know, it's 1 second, but they forget that there's all of that organising you have to do, all the equipment that you have to have, getting to races, the time it takes to get out there, take the photo or video or whatever you're doing, edit it, upload it. There's so much involved. The actual putting it on Instagram is the quickest part of the entire process. Like, it's such a small percentage. So for people to go and rip off those photos and use them as their own, especially with no credit, it's not fair. If you need a photo for your social media, contact the photographer directly and ask them. Worst case, they will just say no, you move on. Whew, I was getting quite fired up about that. But it's frustrating. We put a lot of time and effort into everything that we do. It's hard to earn money from this. So when people are ripping us off, it pisses us off. All right, let's go find some more athletes.
Hey, Julie Moss here in Taupo. I'm here at the beautiful lake getting ready to race Ironman in a couple days. Haven't been here in 15 years, and you know what? This town is still as chill as it was all that long time ago. So here I am, ready to race, trying to get back to Kona eventually, but right now I'm just here to enjoy the calm of this town and as the energy builds towards Ironman.
I've just run into another one of my personal favourite pros, Elise Selsmark. She's Sans Cupcake, but we're going to have a quick chat about the Cupcake Cartel.
Woo!
Hey! You just arrived in town?
Just arrived in town today, drove down to Auckland and appreciating the beautiful cooler weather, cooler than the sunny coast has been. We're pretty pumped. It's our first official Ironman race since we've launched the team. We've got a strong contingent of 18 athletes from the Cupcake Cartel that are racing, so it's going to be awesome. We'll be able to support each other out on course, and even just going to athlete check-in, I've already been supplied with Whittaker's chocolate from all the different flavours from New Zealand from one of our awesome team members.
Nice.
So I have also launched into coaching a few lovely ladies this year. So
cool.
We've got 5 cupcake ladies and another couple that are starting soon. So that's really exciting to see them improve. And
Spoon and Paddle, I've already had my coffee for today, but I'm going to order a hot chocolate from Sid. Sid,
No word at all.
serve me!
Alright, what would you like? Hello, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Right, what do you go? Hot chocolate?
Just waiting for hot chocolate.
We have a hot chocolate for number 10.
Oh, good. Well played, Sid. Thanks for serving me.
It's easy.
Can I get a high five?
Thank you! Thank you, Sid, and thank you to Spoon and Paddle. The reason that we wanted to do something like that, which seemed a little bit silly, was one thing you'll notice with Ironman New Zealand is that the town really embraces this race, this event, week long. So we wanted to sort of showcase one of the supporters, and we love Spoon and Paddle. Laura's become a bit of a regular here whenever she's raced here over the 70.3 or the full. So we just wanted to give them a bit of a shout out and have a bit of fun with it as well. That's it from me for now, pre-race. We've got our preview up on the website, check it out, and follow us on Twitter over race weekend. Check out all those updates, and we will see you on the other side.